Welcome back, Leo, and thank you for joining me for your March 2020 ASMR tarot forecast. You may have noticed that I am using a slightly different angle this month. I will be using the Brotherhood of Light tarot deck, and I will also be clarifying with my GE Monogram series playing card deck because, as I'm sure we are all aware, GE brings good things to life. I will be using a 12 house card spread today. This will be for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Alright, Leo, what are you anticipating for the month of March? There is someone frantically hammering away outside, but I really love having the window open, so I hope it's not too loud. Right. All right. First house, House of Beginnings. We have the Seven of Pentacles. This is actually a similar start to Gemini's reading. Seven of Pentacles is about work dissatisfaction. So everything that's going on in March, the roots will be in that job dissatisfaction. What else can I tell you about that? So it's important to always go into things without a lot of preconceived notions and to be open to new situations. That's what the Joker reminds us. I also see here conflict and separation. And gift or curse. Quitting your job could be a gift that you give yourself, but it can also be a curse. And the fact that the conflict or separation card came out now just means that it can't come up again later, right? Alright, second house, House of Possessions. It's the Seven of Wands. Now, the Seven of Wands is a card about feeling like you have to defend yourself on all sides. It could be, it's not as much about competition in the workplace as it is about fending off disaster. And it is reversed here. In the second house, which means it could have been something that you've already overcome, or it could be something that's coming in the future. Let's find out more about that. So there is sagacity, movement, and nervous, jealous energy. And I've shuffled these cards really well, but this cluster of cards just seems to be coming out for a lot of people this month. So I think that in March, you're going to be having some feelings of nervousness, but that things will be moving and you will have the wherewithal to come up with good solutions to your problems as it relates to your material success and your material possessions. The third house is the house of communication, and your card here is showing up reversed, meaning maybe communication will not be your strength in March. Maybe it will be something that you find very challenging. I personally have been having issues with the Mercury retrograde in Pisces with communication and being a good communicator. I find myself garbling my words a lot. What do we have here? We have travel luck. Another reminder that it's important to go into things with a very open mind. And the King of Diamonds, King of Pentacles, which could be you, it could be a Gemini. This is the third house after all. Somebody who's stubborn and influential. Maybe that's who you are having trouble communicating with. And the fourth house is your hopes, your home life, and your family. And the death card is reversed here. This could mean that you lose somebody in the month of March, but it could also be about things on the horizon changing in your home life. So changes that will not be occurring in March, but will occur soon. There's transport and prominence. Evil forces, and again another card about transformation and death. So definitely your home life is going to be very complicated in the month of March, but don't hate me for saying so. After all, I am a Leo sun sign, so I'll be right there in it with you. Here's the fifth house, which is the house of creativity. It's the house ruled by Leo, and it's the Jack of Pentacles. So if you have creative endeavors that you've been working on, they might start to reap you financial rewards in the month of March. But it's just the Jack of Pentacles, so it's kind of a beginning to that, but you're not going to see like big financial returns on these things quite yet in March. We have engagement news for those of you who are not coupled or who are in a position to get married, part-time. So it looks like whatever this creative endeavor, up until this point, it's been part-time. And we have the compassion card. So that's good. That's good energy coming in for that house, for your creativity, your romance. And it looks like some money might be the result of that. Here in the 6th house, we have the Justice card, and it's upright. So the 6th house is all about your daily routines, your health. So if you feel like your body has been treating you unfairly, perhaps you will be getting justice against your corporeal self. If there's been something that you've needed to get done, possibly a root canal or spinal alignment or something like that, it's probably going to be happening in March. We have an invitation, victory, and financial partnership. So that's good. That's being incorporated into your daily routines. So I do see a little bit of money starting to come in for you, Leo. All right, the 7th house is about marriage. It's about partnerships, business partnerships, and it is about justice. So the 4 of Wands is a marriage card. It is Leo on Leo energy here and ruled by the sun. So that is a very fortuitous card for you to get in that house. Again, if you're not married, I do see some cards here that might be leading you down that path. If you are happily married, you will probably maintain that, but let's see what these cards say about that. Oh, lucky money. So that's good. Unscrupulous widow. So this could be somebody trying to cheat you out of something. It could be just somebody being very direct with their words, and because it's in the house of justice, so maybe even a settlement in your favor against somebody who's been unscrupulous with you. And then we also have the 4 of Hearts, emotional stability. So that's a really good bunch of cards to have fall in your 7th house. Everything kind of equaling out, which is good. The 8th house is death, sex, and other people's money. And we have the Jack of Clubs, the Page of Clubs, basically. Page of Wands. And it could be a Sagittarius. It could be you. You're a fire sign. And this is all about your creative energies. And it might just be that your energies are not around death, sex, or other people's money right now in this month. That you're dedicating your energies elsewhere. Let's find out more about that. Yeah, imbalance and examination, completion and victory, and then cautious love. So all three of these together kind of, if there's an imbalance, if you have been guarded around romance or sex, there are going to be some things that you are forced to reevaluate in March. And as a result of that, by the end of March, you will have overcome those things. And, I mean, it could have to do with other people's money too, you know, very easily. And your opinions about other people's money. We also have this 9th house of travel and education. And that is the Queen of Swords. So here's that Queen of Swords energy coming up again. Maybe that's your rational self, talking yourself out of taking trips, talking yourself out of advancing in certain areas because you feel like it's not practical. Or the Queen of Swords could just be, you know, making very clear decisions right now regarding travel and higher education. Alright, so we have your wishes will be granted regarding those things. I also see here an affectionate family man, either a partner or that could represent you. And I do see partnership, and that can be both romantic and business partnership. And now in the 10th house, which is your career, the Knight of Cups. Now the Knight of Cups has a tendency to allow his emotions to govern his states and his trajectory, and sometimes even you'll see versions of that card where he's not holding the reins, he's just letting the horse kind of wander through the swamp. So I think that you often make decisions in your career based on your emotional states, which, I mean, it's important to be able to wake up every morning and go and do what you're hired to do, definitely. And if your emotional state isn't right, it can be very difficult to do that. But it also makes it difficult to work a normal job because there are so many stresses and difficult things that you have to deal with day in and day out. Partners. So definitely seeing some good partnership energy as far as like people coming in and being able to help you. Financial freedom. So possibly it looks like you're transitioning away from a 9-to-5 typical sort of job. And then I see the Jack of Clubs, which could be like the Jack of Wands, the Page of Wands, honest and enterprising. Somebody who is working hard to bring their own ideas to the world and hopefully get some kind of financial compensation for such. The 11th house, governed by Aquarius, is all about your psychic awareness. It's about clairvoyance, precognition, spiritual awakening and growth. And we have the Empress card reversed here, which is very interesting. It's like there's this divine feminine creative spark. But perhaps you are being cut off from that a little bit in the month of March. Or maybe you're on the precipice. You're on the precipice of an awakening. And it won't be occurring in March, but everything that is setting up for it is occurring in the month of March. So let's find out more about that. Long-term investment. Yeah, so this will probably be something that happens later this year. We also have these two hearts, which are probably representative of your energy regarding this awakening. So we've got being a good-natured artist and a passionate maternal figure, which are being passionate and maternal is definitely aligned with the Empress energy. So I think that will be coming later and not in March. And then our final card of the reading, the card of endings, the 12th house, we have the Jack of Swords. All right. And he's in the upright. Jack of Swords could be about talking through your issues and having like these very early ideas that you're not quite ready to put out there yet. So I think there's a lot going on in March that's very good. I am very alarmed about what's happening in the 4th house, in your house of home and family next month, but you know, things happen. And as far as this Jack of Swords is concerned, it looks like, so we have a card of severance and possible left-hand path interference. We had the do-over card, and we have addiction and codependency. So if there's somebody around you with whom you have addiction and codependency issues, that's something that you are going to have to cope with starting probably at the end of March. And they're going to want a do-over, and you're going to want to cut them out of your life, most likely, which would be the healthier thing to do if they are not able to change their behavior. All right, so Leo, that's your March forecast. I see some really great starts to some projects here, but I also see some really weird energy going on. So just be very careful. Take care of yourself. Self-care is key. And I will see you again next month for the April readings. Thank you.